Tinubu declares state of emergency in Rivers State, suspends governor and lawmakers, appoints retired naval chief as administrator. Good evening and welcome to the special live broadcast on GbaramatuVoiceTV. We'll bring you a major breaking news update as President Bola Tinubu has officially declared a state of emergency in Rivers State, citing a worsening political crisis, a security threat, and leadership failures in the oil-rich region. In a national broadcast earlier today, the president invoked Section 305 of the 1999 Constitution as amended, which empowers him to take extraordinary measures when governance is threatened. Key decisions announced by the president. Governor Siminalayi Fubara, Deputy Governor Ngozi Odu, and all members of the Rivers State House of Assembly have been suspended from the office for an initial period of 6 months. Retired Vice Admiral Ibok-Ete Ibas has been appointed as the administrator of Rivers State to oversee governance during the emergency period. All legislative activities in Rivers State have been altered, but the judiciary will continue to function normally. Security agencies have been directed to maintain law and order, especially around key government institutions and oil facilities. Reasons for the declaration of emergency: President Tinubu expressed a deep concern over the prolonged political crisis in Rivers State, which has left governance as a standstill and deprived the people of essential services and democratic dividends. He highlighted the following critical issues: destructions of the Rivers State House of Assembly. The president referenced the arson attack on the Assembly complex in December 2023, stating that Governor Fubara had failed to rebuild it or restore legislative functions. Breakdown of governance. Tinubu emphasized that the state cannot function effectively without a working legislature, citing recent Supreme Court rulings that criticized the lack of a legitimate House of Assembly in Rivers. Escalating security threat. The president warned about increasing ethnic tensions, political violence, and acts of sabotage, particularly attacks on oil pipelines. Recent pipeline explosions. Tinubu confirmed that between Monday night and Tuesday morning, 2 separate explosions occurred along the Trans-Niger Pipeline, TNP, in Bodo, Kogana local government area, and Omariwa in Ogba Egbema, Ndoni local government area. He blamed these attacks on militants seeking to exploit the political crisis. Failure of leadership. The president accused both Governor Fubara and his political rivals of failing to resolve their disputes through constitutional means, instead allowing the crisis to escalate. Appointment of a new administrator to restore stability. President Tinubu has appointed retired Vice Admiral Ibok-Ete Ibas as the administrator of Rivers State. Who is Ibok-Ete Ibas? He is a former chief of naval staff 2015 to 2021 and a respected military strategist. Born in Cross River State, he was commissioned into the Nigerian Navy in 1983 and served in various high-profile defense roles. The president said Ibas' discipline, experience, and leadership will help stabilize the state during this period. What this means for Rivers State. Governance in Rivers State will now be directly managed by the administrator under the supervision of the federal government. The administrator is not authorized to make new laws but can introduce regulations with approval from the Federal Executive Council. Security agencies will intensify patrols to prevent further violence and protect oil infrastructure. The state judiciary will continue to function, ensuring that legal rights are upheld. Next steps. The state of emergency proclamation have been published in the Federal Gazette and submitted to the National Assembly for approval as required by the Constitution. President Tinubu assured Nigerians that this intervention is aimed at restoring order, protecting lives and property, and ensuring that Rivers State does not spiral into further chaos. He also warned that any further attempt to disrupt peace in the state will be met with decisive actions from security forces. Stay tuned as we bring you the full speech from President Tinubu. Barstolowo is my name, reporting live on GbaramatuVoiceTV.
Fellow Nigerians, I feel greatly disturbed at the tone we have come to regarding the political crisis in Rivers State. Like many of you, I have watched with concern the development with hope that the parties involved will allow good sense to prevail
Thank you,
at
sir.
the soonest. But all that hope borne out without any solution to the crisis. With the crisis persisting, there's no way democratic governance, which we all fought and worked for over the years, can thrive in a way that will redound to the benefit of the good people of the state. The state has been at a standstill since the crisis started, with the good people of the state not being able to have access to the dividend of democracy. Also, it is public knowledge that the governor of Rivers State, for unjustifiable reasons, demolished the House of Assembly of the state as far back as 13th December 2023, and as up till now, 14 months after, now rebuilt the same. I have made personal interventions between the contending parties for a peaceful resolution of this crisis, but my efforts have been largely ignored by the parties to the crisis. I'm also aware that many well-meaning Nigerians, leaders of thought, and patriotic groups have also intervened at various times with the best of intentions to resolve the matter. But all their efforts were also to no avail. Still, I thank them. On February 28, 2025, the Supreme Court, in a judgment in respect to all about 8 consolidated appeals concerning the political crisis in Rivers State, based on several grave unconstitutional acts and the disregard of the rule of law that has been committed by the governor of Rivers State, as shown by the evidence before it, pronounced in very clear terms. And I quote, "A government cannot be said to exist without one of the 3 arms that make up of the government of a state under the 1999 Constitution as amended. In this case, the head of the executive arm of the government has chosen to collapse the legislature to enable him to govern without the legislature as a despot. As it is, there is no government in Rivers State," and I quote. The above pronouncement came after a catalogue of judicial findings of constitutional breaches against Governor Siminalayi Fubara. Going forward in their judgment, and having found and held that 27 members of the House who had allegedly deflected, and I quote, are still valid members of Rivers State House of Assembly and cannot be prevented from participating in proceedings of that House by the 8th respondent, that is the governor, in cohort with 4 members, and unquote. The Supreme Court then made some orders to restore the state to immediate constitutional democracy. These orders include the immediate passing of an appropriation bill by the Rivers State House of Assembly, which up to now has not been facilitated. Some militants had threatened fire and brimstone against their perceived enemies of the governor, who has up to now not disowned them. Apart from that, both the House and the governor have not been able to work together. Both of them do not realize that they are in office to work together for the peace and good governance of the state. The latest security report made available to me show that between yesterday and today, there have been disturbing incidents of vandalization of pipelines by some militants without governor taking any action to curtail them. I have, of course, given stand order to the security agencies to ensure safety of lives of good people of Rivers State and the oil pipelines. With all this and many more, no good and responsible president will stand by and allow the grave situation to continue without taking remedial steps prescribed by the Constitution to address the situation in the state, which no doubt requires extraordinary measures to restore good governance, peace, order, and security. In these circumstances, having soberly reflected on and evaluated the political situation in Rivers State, and the governor and deputy governor of Rivers State, having failed to make a request to me as president to issue this proclamation as required by Section 305, Paragraph 5 of the 1999 Constitution as amended, it has become inevitably compelling for me to invoke the provision of the Section 305 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999, as amended, to declare a state of emergency in Rivers State with effect from today, 18th March, year 2025, and I so do. By this declaration, the governor of Rivers State, Mr. Siminalayi Fubara, his deputy, Mrs. Ngozi Odu, and all elected members of the House of Assembly state are hereby suspended for an initial period of 6 months. In the meantime, I hereby nominate Vice Admiral Ibok-Ete Ibas, retired, as administrator to take charge of the affairs of the state in the interests of the good people of Rivers State. For the avoidance of doubt, this declaration does not affect the judicial arm of Rivers State, which shall continue to function in accordance with their constitutional mandate. The administrator will not make any new laws. He will, however, be free to formulate regulations and may be found necessary to do his job, but such regulations will need to be considered and approved by the Federal Executive Council and promoted by the President for the state. This declaration has been published in the Federal Gazette, a copy of which has been forwarded to the National Assembly in accordance with the Constitution. It is my fervent hope that this inevitable intervention will help to restore peace and order in Rivers State by awakening all the contenders to the constitutional imperatives, binding on all political players in the Rivers State in particular and Nigeria as a whole. Long live a united, peaceful, secured, and democratic Rivers State in particular, and the Federal Republic of Nigeria as a whole. God bless you all for listening. Thank you.
Us to the end of this breaking news updates. President Bola Tinubu has declared a state of emergency in Rivers State, suspending the governor, deputy governor, and all state lawmakers while appointing a new administrator to take charge. The political crisis and security concerns in the state remains a developing story, and we will continue to bring you the latest updates as they unfold. Stay tuned to GbaramatuVoiceTV for more in-depth coverage, and don't forget to follow us on all our social media platforms on Facebook, on X, on Instagram, on YouTube, on TikTok at GbaramatuVoice. And for more detailed story, visit our website www.GbaramatuVoiceNews.com. Best Alone is my name. See you next time.